The Tofu Building. Incidents. The silent killers of modern architecture. Welcome back to World Horror Funk Town, where we explore the dark side of real-world disasters. Today, we're diving into the chilling world of the Tofu Building incidents, an architectural nightmare that continues to claim lives across China. Made in China? Never made anyone feel super safe, right? The Tofu Buildings. The term tofu buildings refers to structures built with such poor quality that they crumble like tofu, a tragic metaphor for the fragile state of many buildings in China. These structures, often the result of corruption, rushed construction, and substandard materials, have turned into death traps for thousands. The 2021 collapse, a preventable tragedy. On June 1st, 2021, in the small town of Changsha, Hunan province, a modest residential building suddenly crumbled to the ground just after midday. The collapse was as sudden as it was devastating. 8 people were rescued from the rubble, but 5 others were not so lucky. The building had been constructed with a weak foundation, poor soil, and a design that lacked the necessary stiffness to withstand the stresses of time and neighboring construction activities. Systemic failures. The investigation revealed that the building's foundation was flawed from the start, with missing reinforced steel in key areas. This was compounded by nearby construction that disturbed the soil, causing it to shift and crack. The building's design, tall, narrow, and made of brick concrete, was inherently unstable, making it a disaster waiting to happen. As a result of this preventable tragedy, 5 people involved in the construction faced strict legal actions, and 20 local government officials were punished for their negligence. The 2024 Meilong Expressway collapse. Fast forward to May 1st, 2024, and yet another tofu building incident rocked China, this time in Guangdong province. In the early hours of the morning, a section of the Meilong Expressway suddenly gave way, causing over a dozen vehicles to plunge into a fiery pit. The disaster claimed 48 lives and left 30 others injured. The highway, less than 10 years old, was found to have been built with substandard materials and poor construction practices, including improperly filled and compacted layers and inadequate reinforcement. A history of corruption and neglect. The Meilong Expressway collapse is just one in a long line of similar disasters. In 2023, the roof of a middle school gymnasium in Shanghai collapsed during a volleyball practice, killing 10 young athletes and their coach. The cause? Perlite, a highly absorbent mineral, was stored illegally on the roof, and when it absorbed rainwater, the added weight caused the structure to give way. These incidents are reminiscent of the devastating 2008 Sichuan earthquake, where nearly 7,000 classrooms collapsed due to shoddy construction, resulting in the deaths of over 5,000 students. Large-scale corruption, where officials and contractors skimmed funds and used below-standard materials, played a significant role in the disaster. The root of the problem. Why do these tofu building incidents keep happening? The answer lies in China's rapid urbanization, fueled by government policies that prioritize speed and profit over safety. Developers, pressured to complete projects quickly, often cut corners, using substandard materials and unqualified workers. Corruption further exacerbates the problem, with officials turning a blind eye to violations in exchange for bribes. The 2020 Three Red Lines policy, which aimed to curb excessive borrowing by property developers, exposed the precarious financial state of many companies, leading to a wave of unfinished projects and abandoned construction sites. This, in turn, has left countless homebuyers stranded, with their life savings tied up in buildings that may never be completed. The global context. While tofu buildings are a particularly severe problem in China, similar issues exist worldwide. In 2021, the Champlain Tower South in Surfside of Florida collapsed due to ignored warnings about structural damage and delayed repairs, killing 98 people. And in 2023, a massive earthquake in Turkey destroyed 85,000 buildings, many of which had been legalized despite not meeting safety standards. The Tofu building incidents are a sobering reminder of the cost of corruption, negligence, and the relentless pursuit of profit at the expense of human lives. As we remember the victims of these tragedies, we must also call for greater accountability, stricter regulations, and a commitment to ensuring that every building is constructed with the safety and well-being of its occupants in mind. That's all for today's episode of Horror Funktown. If you found this story as chilling as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the world's most terrifying real-life horrors. Stay safe and stay scared, and